time of the year. We're here where the coats are off and the fans are going to enjoy this football game. I mentioned forms today. They look pretty sharp. They look like the Green Bay Packers in their green and gold. And the shirts just came in this past week, and we got a lot of number changes on our roster due to the new uniforms. But I know Coach Bob that they're all dressed out in their new clothing here for today's game. Now, gentlemen, let's take a look at the two teams and match them up. And we'll take a look at the visitors first, Bob Galice's Wildcats. And Dick Patton, what did you manage to find out? Because we haven't seen this club play this year on Channel 8.
Well, the Pineland Wildcats, Ken, are really improving. He feels that the first few games that they had to play Shore Regional, Freehold Borough, and they got beat quite badly. But now he thinks they've got things under control. Last week they played Allentown. They won 14-6. Todd Lawrence had a good day passing, the quarterback. He threw for 141 yards. The rushing attack was for 148 yards. John Kumpel ran very well. Bob Pesco ran very well. He feels that the running attack and the passing attack, as you can see, 141 yards passing, 148 yards rushing. That's a balanced attack. So he feels that the offense is coming real well, and they're ready for this ball game. Defensively, they've been working hard. They're playing a 5-2. They have what they call the Bruise brothers, Bob and Lester Pesco. They gave him that nickname because they hit so hard. They feel that the defense is strong, 5-2, but he's worried. LACEY, he watched them on TV this week. He saw them play. Their running attack, their passing attack. He knows that Luciano is back playing quarterback for the Lions. He's very concerned. With the new jerseys and the new pants, he thinks it's a new season. He's hoping that'll be the extra little thing that lifts them up a little bit. And he feels that if they try hard and they work like they did last week, that they can give LACEY some kind of a ball game. And I'm looking for an exciting show from the Pineland Wildcats.
Pre-game show is brought your way by Video Movies and Games, Bachelor Avenue and Tom's River. We'll take a timeout for a message from our sponsor, and then we'll come back with part 2 of the pre-game show. And we're about ready to go with a kickoff for today's Class C Shore Conference game. It's brought your way by Pine Belt Chevrolet, Route 88 in Lakewood, New Jersey's largest volume Chevrolet dealer. And by Ocean County College, your community college in Toms River. Remember, the future belongs to the educated, and Ocean County College is a place where happy endings begin. And by your Lincoln Mercury dealers of Monmouth and Ocean County, and locally, it's Weiss Leader Lincoln and Mercury, Burnt Tavern Road in Bricktown, and Causeway Ford Lincoln and Mercury, Route 72 East in Manahawkin. There you see the LACEY Lions as they are getting ready to huddle up with Coach Lou Versillo. We just had the captains out at the center of the field, and I'm Ken Turpin. With me is Bob Strangia and Dick Patton. Across the way, you see the Green Bay Packer style uniforms, the new ones of the Wildcats of Pinelands in their green and gold. And we have a kind of an overcast day right now, and I don't think the wind should be too much of a factor, should it, Bob?
Well, there is some wind kind of blowing out of the northern corner, Ken, and it gets a little gusty. I don't think it'll be much of a factor, but there is some wind out there, and LACEY will have the wind at the back as they have elected to receive the kickoff.
All right, Dick's going to run down some names for you.
All right, the officials for today's game: referee Hal Clayton, line judge Don Doherty, umpire Frank Farrell, head linesman Bob Bratton, and clock operator Joe Maroney.
Pinelands will go right to left and kick off to the LACEY Lions, and Jeff Bonneke will do the kicking off. He's number 47. He's a senior, 5'11", 175. Dropping deep for the LACEY Lions, Rich Deemer to the center of the field, number 40 to the near side. And we had a little correction on a name we had last week. We were given a roster name that wasn't correct. Number 37 is Brian Perry.
We almost made him.
We had
all
a
short.
phantom ball player, had a great game last week for LACEY.
And we didn't give him any credit, so we apologize to Brian and his family.
And Dave Van Brunt is to the far side of the field. The whistle has been blown and we're ready to go. The kickoff is an end-over-end kick to the 12-yard line. It's going to be Deemer up the middle of the field for LACEY, and he's tripped up by number 81, Adam Boneski, as the Lacey band is right in front of us, and they start playing right away. So first down for the Lacey Lions. They have the ball on their own 33-yard line. Let me run down the lineup for the Lacey Lions. The running backs, Dave Van Brunt and Bob Malika. Rocco Sinatra at wingback, Dave Supsey, the outstanding split end. The quarterback back starting this week, Pete Luciano, has been out with an injury. Big hole and a first down on the first play from scrimmage, and the ball carrier was Jeff Sturman, number 24, and an excellent play. You want to describe what went on that one, Dick?
It was just
all right. I thought they were going to have a replay, but they didn't. Okay, Luciano handed the ball off. He broke right off guard and went 15 yards straight up the middle of the field.
Okay.
All right, they go dive over the left side, and the ball carrier is Mike Spatz, the outstanding sophomore, number 47. The offensive line for Lacey, Chris Supsey and Ed Carrivo, the guards. Steve Torrey and Mike Berardo are the tackles. Mike Murphy is the tight end, and Dave Supsey is the split end for Lacey. And they'll alternate those wing backs with plays. Malika lines up as the wing back to the right side. Luciano hands off, and here's another hole here. And again, it's Sturman, the ball carrier. Tackle made by Adam Boneski, number 81. So Lacey takes the ball into Pinelands territory at the 45-yard line. It'll bring up 3rd and 2.
All right, Ken, Lacey opening up with its Delaware wing T, giving it to the ball to the second back, coming back on a counter action, and twice Sturman has taken that counter for good yardage.
I'll run down that defensive unit in a moment for Pinelands. Malika goes in motion. They give it to the wing back, Malika, and Malika's got a first down around the 40-yard line. That defense for the Wildcats, John Taylor, the left end, number 56, goes 5'10", 175, a sophomore. Darren Angle, who Bob Galeese describes as their best lineman, 5'11", 220, a senior, number 68, the left tackle. Mickey Mata, 5'9", 190, a junior, number 67, a nose guard. Benny Sanzari, 6', 230, a senior, the right tackle, number 72, and Pat Anthony, 6'2", 185, a senior, right end, number 17. Well, there goes almost a touchdown, and he's still going, but 2 men to bring him down. So Brian Perry, number 37, with a big first down for Lacey.
All right, Ken, Perry just took a power play off the right tackle, got a good block on the line of scrimmage from his tackle and end. We got a replay coming up, and you can see him behind the lead block of Spatz. He pops it in there. Looks like he's going to go all the way, but just gets his jersey pulled on, which slows him down. A 27-yard gain.
All right, Lacey going up the middle, and the ball carrier is Mike Murphy. So now he marked the ball at the 7, and Lacey looking at a 2nd and 2.
All right, the Pineland Wildcats, they have a freshman playing at linebacker, Lester Pesco, and they seem to be exploiting the fact that he's a very young, inexperienced ball player.
Thank you. All right, here's Luciano, brings him up and sends the wingback briefly in motion there, and then gives to Spatz, and Spatz down to the 5-yard line.
All right, a power play, Ken, really bringing the wingback in motion just to have him lead up into the hole out of the Dallas Cowboys offense.
Those linebackers, the Peshko brothers that Dick talked about in the pregame, the junior Bob, number 38, plays the left side, 5'10", 175. His freshman brother, Lester Peshko, is the right backer, number 39, 5'10", 170. Matt Vega, number 27, and Todd Lawrence, the quarterback, number 10, are the halfbacks. John Kumpel and Adam Boneski, the safeties. Flag is thrown.
Ken, they tried to run that counter again out of the Delaware, and the penalty is being signaled against the Lacey Lions. I think we had the illegal block in there.
Sturman, the ball carrier, tackled by number 68, Darren Angle.
The Lions are walking back. The referee did point in the direction of Lacey, and they're marking it off a 15-yarder. We'll see what the signal is here. Blocking below the waist.
Early first quarter action here at Lacey High School in Anoka Harbor. And the Lions in their home blue today, looking for their 4th victory of the season. slot to the far side. Luciano to roll to the far side. He's got some blockers. And picked up by Todd Lawrence, the sophomore quarterback who also plays in the secondary. And he is the son of the new director of athletics at Pinelands, Dick Lawrence, who was the former Mariner coach at Toms River High School North.
All right, here's Luciano under the ball. He rolls to his left. Now Lawrence is in between the receiver, and the ball was just not high enough, and Todd reached up and picked it off.
Todd played freshman football for Southern Regional last year and transferred down to Pinelands, where he's moved into the starting position. All right, Lawrence is the quarterback. Straight ahead, not much of a hole. Making a tackle for LACEY was number 75, Mike Berardo.
Coach Galise said that we would see a pro set today as well as an eye by the Wildcats. They'll also use a lot of motion. So you're going to see backs going in motion in both directions today and a wide open offense.
All right, let me get the lineups in here, gentlemen. Todd Lawrence, the quarterback. Number 10, Bob Peshko, 38, the fullback. John Kumpel is the tailback, number 25. Matt Vega, 27, the flanker, alternates with Dan Tozer, number 24. Jeff Bonneke, the split end, 47. Mickey Mata is the center, 67. Darren Angle goes both ways. He's the right guard, 68. The left guard is Benny Sanzari, also going both ways, number 72. John Taylor, 56. And Neil O'Grady, 77, are the tackles. Pat Anthony goes both ways. He's the tight end. And it's a draw. And Sturman makes the tackle for the Lions.
Ball was bobbled on the exchange, but is quickly picked up, handed off. Sturman really popped the ball carrier in there. You heard that thud up here in the stands.
John Kumpel, the ball carrier. So it's going to bring up third down and a long 9 for Pinelands. They split. Jeff Bonneke to the near side, Matt Vega to the far side, and flags are thrown.
It looked on that particular play like Lawrence was going to fake the dive and roll a little bit to his right and throw out to one of those wide receivers. Now let's see if they run the same play, because now they're back another 5. They got at least 3rd and 15, Ken.
It's a 5-yard penalty against Pinelands for illegal motion.
Cliff Adams again on our crew today, along with Mary Beth Duffy. We have Jeff Himpley working today. Our director is Mike Redfield. Our chief engineer is Mike Moran. Sue Lewis is our production assistant today, and we're handling the instant replay. All right, it's LACEY defense looking tough here as they had the Pinelands club bottled up. Tackle was made by Derek Torrey, wingback, number 53. We have 6:22 to go. No score in the first quarter. We'll be right back. Good rush. Excellent kick. And it's fielded at the 45-yard line, and down the near sideline goes number 40, Richie Deemer, the sophomore. And LACEY is going to have a beautiful position here to start this series. John Kumpel on a stop.
About a 15, 16-yard return on that, Ken, which is going to give the LACEY Lions excellent field position as they take over the ball on about the 24-yard line.
Calling the defensive signals for the Pinelands Wildcats is left linebacker Bob Peshko. All right, we have the handoff straight ahead, and number 68, Darren Angle, right there to stack up Van Brunt.
Now, Van Brunt had his head down coming back on that counter, and he actually hit a little bit wide. The hole was there. Had he picked his head up and been looking, he could have cut that a little tighter, and he had opening. He had an opening. He had good running room inside.
1 yard gain by Van Brunt. 2nd and 9 for the Lions.
You know, these LACEY Lions lead the Ocean County in total offense, Ken.
Comes that wing back. You'll see that play an awful lot today by the LACEY Lions.
There's a fumble.
Rocco Sinatra loses the football. So, anybody get the number of the player on it, Dick?
I think it was 68, but I can't be sure.
Right, that's Angle, the defensive tackle, Darren Angle.
Coach Galise said that Darren Angle was doing a good job for him. And here's the replay. He's hit about 3 times. He's finally Let's see who's got it. I couldn't
really
tell. It
can't
looked
see
like
who.
Darren Angle, but I can't be sure.
All right. Tailback gets the call, John Couple, and a tackle's made by Mike Gerardo. So it's a gain of 1, 2nd and 9. Pinelands operating from the, is that the 23, Bob?
That's about the, looks like it might be, it's tough because of the angle, Ken. It looks like it's about the 23-yard line, yeah.
Defensively for Lacey, Scott Schubiger, the strong side end, number 54, 6 foot 190, a junior. Mike Berardo just made that stop at left tackle, goes 6 foot 190, a junior, number 75, the nose guard. Mike Eden, 5'10", 180, a junior, number 33. I'll give you the rest of that unit in a moment. They're looking for the quick pop over the middle, and it was intended for Pat Anthony, the tight end, incomplete. Malika on the coverage. The rest of that defensive line, Steve Torrey is the right tackle, 5'10", 230, a junior, number 76, and Bob Malika plays the weak side end. He goes both ways, number 20. The linebackers, Jeff Sturman going both ways on the strong side. Derek Torrey, a senior weak side backer, number 53. Dave Supsey goes both ways. He's the left halfback on defense, number 80. Dave Van Brunt also goes both ways at the right half. Rocco Sinatra, Mike Murphy are the safeties.
He's going for it all.
Lawrence puts it up, running to his left. Beautifully thrown to Pat Anthony. No, that's Bonneke, number 47, not 17.
At that time, Bonneke made a great move like he was going all the way. Ken, he even faked me out, and then all of a sudden ran a quick turn into the sideline. He split way out here to the bottom of your screen. You can see on the replay as the quarterback rolls out here, gets outside the outside contain, throws the ball out there, and just a great turnout pattern by the receiver.
All right, first down for the Wildcats. They stay in the I formation. Tailback. And not much of a hole there, but he actually carried a tackler for a couple of yards. In there was Berardo. Also in on the stop
Derek Torrey.
Steve Torrey, 76, and his brother Derek Torrey. Steve at tackle and Derek at linebacker.
Derek was the one who hit him up high and got carried back 4 or 5 yards.
So, good effort by the tailback. He got 4 out of it, and there was no real hole at all. And it's going to bring up 2nd and 6. All right, they fake to the fullback and going on that slant-in pattern, but the ball is dropped. Matt Vega, the intended receiver for the Wildcats from the flanker position. So 3rd down and 6 for the Wildcats.
Dave Lawrence delivered the ball. The ball was on the money. The receiver just couldn't hang on to it.
3 minutes and 30 seconds left in the first quarter. No score in the ball game. Quarterback Lawrence is under some pressure, scampers out of it to his right, throws back over the middle, completed, and dumped immediately. And that will not be a first down. The pass was completed to John Kumpel, but a good tackle right away by Mike Murphy prevents a first down.
All right, here he rolls to his left. He gets caught, so he's rolling now to his right. He throws the ball back into the middle against the grain. A beautiful catch and a beautiful defensive play by one of the Lacey Lions there.
All right, dropping back is Deemer and also Murphy. Deemer is deep. Again, a good snap, no rush. Bonneke sends a high sailor way back to the 15-yard line, and looked like his knee was down. They didn't blow the whistle right away.
He slipped, lost his balance, and extended his hand. Now up here, from my angle, it didn't look like his knee touched. It looked like he maintained a balance. But the official's right on top of the play. He said the inside knee touched, so he blew the ball dead.
I thought his knee touched.
See, we have a difference in
All right,
opinion.
let's make it 3-2. I thought his knee touched.
All right.
You're outvoted, Bob.
His knee touched, I lose. No, I didn't, just from my angle, it just didn't look like.
Right.
We love you.
That was Deemer on the return. So the crew votes. Did I hear the crew vote for knee touched?
Yep.
All right, we heard from our director. All right, here's Luciano going long, picked off once again. This time, number 81 of the Wildcats stepped right in front of the receiver, Adam Boneski, the free safety, and the junior comes up with the second interception for the Wildcats.
Ken, Allen has been playing some ball game. Here's the replay. He's rolling to his left. Luciano looks downfield. He throws. It's a little high floater, and Adam makes the catch. It's tackled right away.
At the 31-yard line, here come the Wildcats. This is their best field position of the day. Early in this ball game. Fake to the fullback. Quick pass.
Got him.
Monarchy, but he can't get loose. And Van Brunt brings him down.
He picked
at
up
the
about
20. Let's get the yard line. 25. I'm reading on the angle.
it's going in. It's on about the 19, Ken. He picked up about 11 yards for the first down.
He's inside the 20.
You can see the replay here. The play action fake freezes the linebackers, and the ball thrown quickly on a quick look-in pattern, and it's good for about 11 and a first down. And Pinelands threat.
Again, the eye. Flanker right, split end left. Fullback on the call, but no hole there. Lacey closes it down pretty quickly. So we're going to get maybe, we'll call it a 2-yard gain, 2nd and 8. Bob Peshko carried the ball. And Galise sends in Bonneke, alternating with Andy Herbert with those offensive plays to Todd Lawrence. Vega to the far side, Bonneke to the near side. Now they put a wing back on the right side. He goes in motion. Lawrence being rushed.
Screen.
To the near side, and number 17, Pat Anthony,
And
was
guess-
tackled by Malika.
Well, guess who? Our player of the week last week. Malika read the screen, penetrated, come up and made a shoestring tackle. You know, so far, Lacey's 3 possessions resulted in 3 turnovers, an interception which killed a 7-play drive, a fumble which killed a quick drive, and then a pass interception on first down.
All right, Rob Malika with the real big play there. He was standout last week in that win over the Manchester Hawks when Lacey won 32-0 on Channel 8. 3rd and 14. Again, the wing back in motion. Lawrence scampers away from the pressure from Schubiger and throws it to Anthony. No, it's to Matt Vega. And as he was throwing the ball, Mike Berardo put Todd Lawrence on the ground, but he did a good job getting that pass off.
Pass was complete, Ken. It was complete for about 5 yards. It's going to bring up a 4th down, however.
Watch it again.
All right, here's the replay. Todd has done an excellent job of scrambling. There he is, scrambling to his right. He throws on the run. Diving catch right there. Beautiful play.
That's the end of the first quarter with no score. Lacey hosting Pinelands. Dick Patton, Bob Strange, and I'll be back for the second quarter after a message from our sponsor. Attempt. They're going to mark the ball at the 20, a 30-yard field goal attempt. And it'll be Jeff Bonneke kicking. Number 27, Matt Vega will hold. And Vinny DiFrancia will be the snap man for the Wildcats. Good snap, good hold. Kick is up. And then it's wide to the right. No good. So with 11:56 left in the half, Lacey has turned the Wildcats back there. They held on defense, forced the field goal attempt, which is wide.
Now, he had plenty of leg in that kick, and it seems to be a common thing that when they're kicking from this right hash mark, the soccer kickers cannot seem to get that proper angle, and most of them go wide to the right.
Freshman football this morning, the Lacey Club has quite a team this year under John Kilmurray. They defeated Pinelands 34-6. They're 5-1 on the year. Tim O'Rourke, a name to watch in the future, Lacey, 3 touchdowns this morning. And his dad had been the head coach at Central Regional at one time, succeeding the late Joe Boyd.
Bob, you know what we're seeing here? Lacey's very strong running the ball, but they've made a few mistakes with the fumbling, and then they have gone to the pass, which has been intercepted twice. If they keep making these kinds of mistakes with the interception and the fumbles, it's going to hurt them.
I don't think you'll see Lou Versillo put the ball in the air deep in his own territory for the rest of the half. He learned his lesson.
2nd and 9 for the Lions. They pitch to Spats. And Spats turning around that right side. Finally tackled by Who was in a stop there? I didn't get the number.
Adam
Beneski?
Beneski again.
Beneski's the free safety, and he came up to take him down. It's going to bring up 3rd down and 4 at the 25-yard line.
Spats, that's the first time we've seen him carry this game. They've been using everybody else, and Spats was very effective. The other thing we haven't seen is the spread set, with only the one setback being Spats, where he ran very well last week.
All right, straight ahead. And Angle's in there on a stop.
Now, we had a lot of moaning here from the fans when Brasillo went straight ahead, but he's been playing now and dangerously close to his own goal line. So what Lou is gambling for here is field position. He wants to get the punt and get the ball back on the Pinelands half of the field.
Injured Wildcat. I haven't picked up his number yet. Could be Angle who made the tackle. I don't see 68.
I'm looking for 56. I don't see him standing out there.
56 is out there. I see him. That's,
all right.
He's okay. It's. I'm pretty sure it's Angle who made the tackle.
81 is there.
80? We're being told it might be 68 is the man I think is the injured player, Darren Angle. So while we have this timeout, Bob, let's run down the scoreboard from Friday night's action.
All right, in the game we broadcast, Toms River South was a 20-0 victor over Brick Memorial. Middletown South was a 19-0 victory over Southern Regional. Manalapan in a stunning upset, 23-22 over Middletown North. Freehold Township was a 10-8 victor over Neptune. Shore Regional won 35-0 over Allentown. Jackson with a big win, 26-7 over Cedar Ridge, and St. John Vianney with a 21-14 victory over Point Borough.
I think a lot of people might be a little surprised that the Middletown North Lions were dumped by Manalapan, although Manalapan has a good club this year. Possibly a little down from that big showdown with Manawan?
You had two problems, Ken. Number one, they were a little bit down. Number two, Manalapan is a much better ball club this year than they have been in other years. But the kids don't realize that. They still take those games lightly. They go in not really ready, and thus the upset.
There's Bob Strange, his former right-hand man, Lou Versillo. They coached together at Red Bank, and Lou started a program here at LACEY after being the head coach at Red Bank. Here's the punt by Mike Murphy, and it gets by Beneski, and they're going to have to let that one roll. It takes a LACEY bounce, and Dave Subsey covers it.
But this is what Lou wanted to do. He wanted to get out of the shadow of his goal line and play the game on the other side of the field. That maybe a turnover will help him get into position. His offense has been very effective, but the turnover has killed him.
First and 10 at the 26-yard line. We have no score for second quarter action here at LACEY High School, and the sun has come out. It was a little overcast as we started the ball game, but we have the sun here with us now. Timeout. Pinelands Wildcats. Todd Lawrence wants to go over and talk to Bob Galise. So while we have this break in the action, let's run down. We're going to take a timeout with 9:56 to go in the half. No score.
All right. Lou Versillo, the head coach, George Patterson, Jim Brown, John Kilmurray, Ed Heffernan, Mike Emanuel, and Rich Stratton are the assistant coaches, with John Gaudy as the athletic director.
Okay, the coaching staff for the Wildcats, head coach, of course, is Bob Galise. Assistants, Bob Flanagan, Bill Paskowitz, Tom Procopio, Dave Fano, and Jim Sharkey.
And, of course, Galise is from Trenton State. He's a Trenton State man. He did coaching up there before he came down to start the program here at Pinelands. Anthony in motion. Lawrence is going to take the sack. He goes down. First man there was Sturman, and then wrapping him up is Berardo. Good pressure by the Lions.
We had a defensive adjustment by the Lions that time. The Pinelands tried to throw that little pop look-in pass they were throwing successfully earlier, but that time they dropped the linebacker off into the coverage, and the receiver wasn't open, so the quarterback had to eat the ball, but that was better than risking an interception.
Also, Bob, I think that they realize that the Wildcats are not running the ball well, and they're going to have to pass, so they can loosen up their secondary a little bit and put more pressure on the passer.
We have an official's timeout here. We have this LACEY band right in front of us, Bob, and right now I can't really hear anything. You got some stats there, Bob, on the lines?
Well, Kenny, Ocean County stats show that LACEY's been exceptionally impressive this year. In scoring, Bob Molliker is third in the shore with 20 points. In rushing, Mike Spatz is number 1 in Ocean County with 355 yards and a 4.6-yard average. Passing, Pete Luciano was third with 40 completions for 437 yards and 2 touchdowns. We'll pick up the rest later.
Second down and long for the Wildcats. Anthony again in motion. And tackle behind the line of scrimmage. And that time, the tackle's made by Derek Torrey was in there and Supsey, and they stop him. That's going to be a loss again on the play. So Pinelands right now is going backwards.
Which is what the Lions wanted to do when they punted before.
Chris Supsey in on that defensive unit right now. Made the stop. He's number 63. He's the younger of the two Supsey brothers. Plays on the offensive line. Fullback. And a draw goes right up the middle. And stopping the fullback was Mike Berardo. So Peshko can't really make up a lot of that yardage, and the Wildcats will have to send their punter on the field, Bonneke.
I mentioned before, Ken, that the LACEY Lions lead the shore in total offense, and it's a very balanced offense. They have 671 yards on the ground, 519 yards passing, for a total of 1,190 yards. Number 1 in Ocean County.
All right, again, no rush, and nice high punt. Deemer takes it at the 40, 45, 50, and fighting loose, and he's going to go down the far sideline. And Bonneke, the punter, finally brings him down. He had the angle on him. Beautiful effort by Richie Deemer, the sophomore return man. It looked like he was stopped around the 45 of the Wildcats, and then he came out of it, broke out of it, and took off for the far sideline.
Ken, that's about 38 yards, that return.
Here's the replay, and you can see Deemer get up. He hits. He looks like he's getting stopped, but he breaks outside, turns on the afterburners, and he almost pops it all away.
All right, LACEY at the 23-yard line. First down. Van Brunt gets a hold. Van Brunt catches it to the near sideline. Touchdown, Van Brunt. Dave Van Brunt, number 23, breaks it for LACEY. 5'11", 160-pound senior running back. And nobody laid a hand on Van Brunt. Good job by the left side of that line. Berardo, Carrivo. Watch it again.
Here's the replay. You can see it's a power play back to the left side. Van Brunt gets good blocking, breaks through the line of scrimmage, and just turns it on for the end zone.
Time of the score, 7:53 of the second period. LACEY 6, Pinelands nothing. Mike Murphy to attempt the extra point. And it's good. LACEY 7, Pinelands nothing.
And Murphy is the Shore's leading kicker, Ken, with 2 field goals and 7 extra points. Not the Shore's. I keep saying the Shore, I mean Ocean County. So the Lions break out into the lead here after a very frustrating first quarter in which they moved the ball very well but weren't able to get any points on the board.
Well, they were stopped 3 times, Bob, once by a fumble and twice by 2 interceptions, and that time they didn't have any problems. They just ran that ball right over.
About a 23-yard run by Van Brunt. You got some stats on that drive, Bob?
Well, it was a 2-play drive. Actually, a 1-play drive. No, it was set up by Demir's 38-yard punt return and then a 23-yard TD run by Dave Van Brunt, a 1-play touchdown drive.
Murphy. Kicking off, as I should say, yeah, it's Richie Deemer who is the return man. And number 19 on the return, Andy Herbert, 5'9", 160, a junior. Berardo on the stop. So the Wildcats take over. 1st and 10 here, midway through the second period of play. And they have the ball at their own 33-yard line.
Momentum so much in high school football, Ken. A great return by Deemer, and it just woke up the LACEY Lions.
Lawrence had a little trouble getting that snap, And Bonneke got it. Kind of floated it out to him, and Bonneke went up in the air as he came to the football, and he beat out number 23, Dave Van Brunt, who had scored a touchdown.
You got a real replay here, and you can see the ball's almost bobbled on the snap. It's laid out there, and it's not a well-thrown ball, but the defensive back was turned around and didn't see it, thus the completion.
So we have a first down, Wildcats in Lacey territory at the 40. And it goes straight ahead with the...
Oh, Lawrence still has the ball.
I watched the fullback. What a fake.
Yeah, but the ball came flying out of his hands and went forward, but I think they recovered.
Ken, you weren't the only one watching the quarterback. I think everybody else was too, and Todd Lawrence took that ball outside and picked up 8 yards.
I followed the fullback up the middle of the line. All of a sudden, I saw Lawrence going around the end. There you see Todd Lawrence. Kind of old watching Todd Lawrence, kind of a strange feeling because I played, his father, Dick Lawrence, is a Phillipsburg athlete, and I played ball with his, Dick Lawrence's brother, Bruce Lawrence. So, this is the old family. Tackle made by Berardo as the Wildcats attempted to go off the right side of the line. And number 25 was the ball carrier, John Kumpel. Gain of about 2 yards. He's going to bring up third, and we'll call it less than a yard.
Third and about a foot to be exact.
John last week rushed for 87 yards in the win over Allentown, so he's a pretty good back.
Vega to the near side, Bonneke to the far side. The fullback looking for the first down. I
think
believe
Pesco got it.
Bobby Peshko, the junior. There's 2 Peshko brothers, freshman and a junior. Lester's a freshman.
What's happening here, Pinelands is now running option, and they're moving the ball a little bit.
You know, we should mention the handicap that Bob Galeese has had with the program at Pinelands, and that they've had no freshman team until this year. They have no Pop Warner team either, Bob.
You know, it's such a sprawling regional district, it's tough to get the kids together.
Takes the fullback, tried to throw it to his tight end, Pat Anthony, and that was batted down.
I think it was Berardo.
Berardo's having a good first half.
Excellent, excellent.
He also
defensive
received
effort.
a lot of pressure from the backside. Just as he went to throw that ball, he was hit from the blind side, which had a little bit to do with that pass being low.
Pinelands has managed to stay alive. Everything has gone right for them. When they drop the ball, it comes right back in their hands.
Again, he fakes the fullback, and that was never was going to get there. I was just thrown in a hurry as he tried to go to Bonneke, number 47.
Mike Eden came in from the backside again and put that pressure on.
Just good pressure by Eden, and he made him throw the ball too early. He just wasn't ready, so he threw it into the ground.
Next week on Channel 8, our doubleheader will be crosstown rivalry in Toms River, Toms River East to Toms River South. And we'll also have Admiral Farragut Middies hosting the Boundbrook Club. So that'll be homecoming day at Pine Beach for the Admiral Farragut Corps of Cadets.
Screen.
This is the tight end, Anthony.
Lose
the football. And who's got it? Lacey.
Excellent executed screen that time, Ken. And it set up beautifully. It was a good run on it, but the ball popped loose on a hard tackle.
Here's the play. It's a short screen. He takes the ball. Now he's got good running room here, but right here he's hit from the blind side and the ball pops out.
Dave Smith, 5'10", 170-pound senior, was the man on the football, number 49 for the Lions. So they take over, and they have the ball on the 20-yard line.
Okay, Ken, Brian Perry is now in the backfield, the gentleman last week that we were calling Pat Bruno.
And Terry gets a hold. Again, a fumble. And we're going back and forth because Pinelands has it now.
I don't know what's going on. The ball must be slippery. It's just going in and out of people's hands. The ball's just popping loose all the time.
Normally, Bob, on a cold day, you might expect this, but this is a perfect day for football.
Yeah.
Sophomore defensive end, John Taylor, was on the football. Number 56, 5'10", 175-pounder.
I look for Lawrence to throw the ball here.
And we're still at the 20-yard line, but this time Pinelands has the football. And I'm reading on an angle again, Bob. I believe it's the 25, isn't it?
Looks like it's just inside the 25, Ken. about the 23-yard line.
So this ball's been a little slippery here. I don't know why. It's a dry field, but
Only thing I could figure, it's a pretty humid day from the moisture off the ocean, and it may just be making the ball a little bit tough to hold.
Lawrence looked like he wanted to run the option, Bob. He had his fullback number 25 riding with him. And Kumpel, I thought he was going to pitch to Kumpel.
Dave Smith came in and had excellent penetration and grabbed his leg, kept him from getting outside, but he was looking for option all the way, and the deep man on the option, the trailing back, was outside. Had he made the pitch, he might have gotten some yards.
So much for my idea that I thought he would put the ball in the air.
It's fun to guess, though, isn't it?
Third down, about 12. We have a flag thrown before the whistle, before the play was even underway.
And they're signaling against Pinelands.
3:34 left.
Looks like the lay of the game. Too much time getting that play off.
3:34 left to go in the first half of play. Lacey 7, Pinelands nothing on a touchdown run of 23 yards by Dave Van Brunt, which came in the second quarter. And Mike Murphy added the extra point. Now Lawrence trying to get his club on the board before halftime. Fakes the draw, and he's hit as he throws, and that's almost picked off by number 53, Derek Torrey, linebacker.
Then he fumbled the ball. He almost picked it off, but he fumbled it as he went down, so it's an incompleted pass.
What we had there is, I don't know if it was by design or what, but it tried to set up the screen on to the bottom of the right of your screen. He tries to set up a screen pass to this side, but Lacey covered it. So he turned around and he threw to the one receiver he had downfield, and Derek Torrey, playing excellent pass coverage from his linebacker spot, was back there to pick it off. Now what happens here?
Fourth down. And good fake there. And Lawrence did a nice job again of fake, and I wanted to go with number 25 again, Kumpel.
Super job by Lawrence that time. Everybody in the stadium, I think, thought that the up back had the ball.
He has a lot of talent for a sophomore.
Good ball handler. Very poised when he makes his fakes.
I'm beginning to wonder if he's running it as a true triple and really reading. I think he's riding that fullback right up in the line and taking the ball out at the last minute, because he's fooling most of the people on the field and in the stadium.
Now, Lacey takes over to 20. Under 3 minutes to play. And they bring Van Brunt to the near side, and Van Brunt finally tackled by number 81 of the Wildcats, and that's the free safety once again, Adam Boneski. So good game by Van Brunt. Watch this play again.
Right, just a sweep back to the strong side of the field, and Van Brunt, you could see him use the straight arm, but not enough. If he had broken that tackle, he'd had really big yards. It's going to be a second and short, second and about a foot.
About a 9.5-yard gain by Van Brunt. Subsea is split to the near side, one of the top receivers in the area. And they go to Sturman, and he should have a first down very easily. So the Lions have 1:54 left to go in a half, and are leading by a touchdown.
It looks like your theory, Bob, is correct here. He's not going to throw that football.
Not from deep in his own side of the field.
But I said that before.
Well, he may now as he gets out here around the 30, 35-yard line. But inside your own 20, you don't want it. See, here we go.
And tackle is made by Anthony immediately as Luciano hooked up with Mike Murphy. So another big game for Lacey of about 6 yards.
Basically, some of the game strategy that I used to emphasize as a coach was that inside your own 20, you don't want to risk the turnover. So you go with high percentage plays. You don't want to put the ball in the air. Once you get outside your 20, you get out around that 30, 35-yard line, you put a couple of successful plays together, and you got the defense guessing. That's the time for that early down pass. Brasillo got an excellent football mind. He realized that. He got him going. He got him thinking run. there goes the pass, and he picks up good yards.
Well, Luciano is a good passer, and you tell any good passer, even a good college passer, that you're going to get intercepted once or twice. You can't let that upset you. You must continue to throw the football if you're a good passer.
Luciano's problems, Ray, have been when he's been rolling and throwing off the opposite side. He hasn't been setting his foot, and the ball's been underthrown. That's where his problem is, not when he's dropping back setting up.
All right, Lou Versillo comes off the field. There you see the head coach of the Lions. He was talking to his offensive unit.
They've got 1 minute and 32 seconds to try and score from here, Ken.
Luciano gets all the time he needs. Beautiful one-handed grab by Murphy. Tackle was made, but not before Murphy picks up the first down, and covering on the play for Pinelands was number 37. And when you look at the roster, we have a little problem because of these new uniforms, and we got all kinds of number changes. So, gentlemen, you have number 37 handy. I can't find him. Oh, it's Lester Pesco, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it is, a freshman.
I had him down for number 39. I didn't change it on the board. So, Pinelands just got those new jerseys this week. The gold pants had come in before the season, but the jerseys didn't arrive until just before this game. Supsey has it, and he's tackled immediately.
And he didn't get out of bounds.
By Bobby Knapp.
Yeah, but the clock is going to stop because there was an offsides penalty against Lacey on that as the split end took a step before the ball was snapped.
We were talking to John Gardy, director of athletics, and he was telling us there's quite a problem on ordering equipment for the high school teams because during the little depression in the economy, the big equipment companies weren't stocking things, and so when you order them, they've got to make them as you order them. There's so many teams across the country ordering from the same company that this is the problem. This is what happened with Pinelands, that they couldn't get their new uniforms until midway through the season.
Lions coming out in a pro set, in a passing set this time with 3 wide receivers.
First and 15. Again, Luciano getting some time. Going long, overthrown to Sturman at the 35, but he was wide open.
And he was. The ball was just about a foot over his head, but a second receiver also came into that area. I wonder if somebody ran a wrong pattern.
I noticed that the Wildcats are covering Dave Supsky very closely. They're not giving him any running room at all, Ken.
We have 43 seconds to go in the half. Close-up shot there of the quarterback, Pete Luciano, who was a junior. And Luciano has Supsey. Supsey runs to the sideline. Now he's out of bounds as he's tackled by number 17, Pat Anthony, the right end.
Pickup of about 10 on that, Ken. Here's the replay. You can see he's got a wide receivers out there, twins to the left, and just a quick out pattern. Supsey trying to get as much yardage as he can before he goes out of bounds.
3rd and 5 from the 46 of the Wildcats.
He played that sideline very well.
Slot to the near side, flanker to far side. Luciano again overthrown and almost intercepted as he tried to go to his tight end, Mike Murphy, going right to left over the middle. And number 37, Lester Pesco, was there, the freshman.
And he would have had the ball, except Matt Berger ran into him and knocked it out of his hands. Here's the replay. Luciano's back to pass. He sets up. He throws over the middle. Now, right there, you see the 2 Pineland players run into each other.
Boneski actually had the hands on the football.
And as I said, Matt Berger kind of ran into him and took away his concentration and knocked the ball out of his hands.
The Lions would like to get a couple more first downs here quick and maybe get Murphy in position for a field goal.
Draw. Here comes Spatz. And a good tackle there. Only a 1 yard
the ball. It's been
loose
picked
ball. And that could have gone for a touchdown. So Spatz lost the football, and I think it was number 27 that picked up the ball, Matt Vega. Let's watch it again. We'll pick up.
It might have been Lester Pesco. Let's see who. There's the ball. It's loose. It's picked up.
27, Vega. Timeout, Pinelands.
Spatz was just stripped of the ball as the defender wrapped both arms around him from behind and pulled down on his hands and just forced the ball to pop out. Very alert play by Pinelands.
Chip Peterson is on the field for Lacey in a red sweater. who coached many years at Central Regional under John Gardy, who was the head coach of the Golden Eagles and then moved down to Lacey as director of athletics. Chip Peterson played football at Central. So Thanksgiving Day is going to be fun because you're going to have Lacey and you're going to have Central. Bob, it'll be fun for you because you got two of your former assistants on both sides. You got Steve Healy, Central defensive coordinator, and you got Lou Brasil, head coach of the Lions.
I don't know what I'm going to do that day. I have two buddies on both sidelines. It's going to be very interesting. Two super guys, both of them excellent football clinicians. They both know the fine points of the game. Healy a little bit more of a motivator. Lou probably a little bit stronger on the strategy. But two super coaches.
Chip Peterson will feel kind of strange. That'll be the first time he's ever been on the visiting sidelines at Central Regional. He played for the Golden Eagles and coached for Central. And John Kilmurray, the freshman coach, was an all-stater at Central. He'll be going back up to Central on the visiting side. First down play. Todd Lawrence rushed from the blind side, and he goes down. Strong rush by Malika.
That shook up Lawrence, too. That kind of hit from the blind side.
He never saw it coming.
He never saw it coming.
Here's a replay. Now watch, here he is right from the blind. A beautiful tackle. Now that's about the fourth or fifth time that Lacey has been able to do that.
By the time Lawrence looked to his left to throw, Malika was already behind him, coming up on him. So timeout, Wildcats.
I look possibly for a screen pass back to that side. They're rushing so quickly from the back side, Bob. If you were to quick drop back and roll a little bit to the right and then throw a screen pass back to the left, that may be wide open.
See, I think differently. When I'm behind 7-0, this close to the half, I'd rather regroup and do my adjustments in the locker room. I don't like putting that ball up for grabs here. Too many things can happen. You can win 7-0, you get a score, you can still win the game. If Lacey picks it off and gets a score, you go in the locker room 14-0, and it's very, very tough to come back in the second half.
Well, I'm not talking about right now, but for later on in the game, the way they're rushing from that backside, that you store that in your mind. It's a critical play. You roll out and throw that ball back.
Just saw the Lacey Line mascot. We met the Lacey Line on a pregame show. The real Lacey Line, Bob, is safely tucked away in the Popcorn Park Zoo out in Bamber. You don't have to worry. Don't be nervous.
After he got hungry and almost ate somebody.
Yeah, we had the real line here. Here's a option pass, and that was number 32 for the Wildcats throwing the football.
And had that been picked off, Ken, there were 3 Lacey blockers in front of him.
That's the end of the half. Dave Saleno, we didn't have him on the original roster?
Yes, we do have him, but he wasn't
scheduled. Again, a number change?
No, he just wasn't scheduled to play. He's on our roster.
All right. It's hard to find the numbers after all the changes we made. He's one of the ones whose number didn't change, Dave Saleno, who threw that pass. So that's the end of the half. With a score, Lacey 7 and Pinelands nothing. And Bob's going to recap that scoring play, which didn't really take long for the Lions.
Oh, the scoring play was set up on a brilliant punt return by Rich Deemer, who took the punt 38 yards and took it to the 23-yard line, where on a first play from scrimmage, Dave Van Brunt, behind some excellent blocking, popped in there for a 23-yard touchdown. That score coming at 7 minutes, 53 seconds into the second quarter. Murphy, the Ocean County's leading kicker, kicked the extra point to make it 7-0.
Dick, what about looking ahead now to the second half off what you just saw?
Well, the Wildcats have counted for themselves very well here. They had a field goal that just missed. They've had the ball in the Lacey territory, and if they can straighten out their pass blocking, because Lawrence will get a little more time, I think they have a shot at putting the ball across the goal line. If Lacey, on the other hand, has got to do away with their fumbles and their pass interceptions, they may score a few more touchdowns. So there's a lot of things that have to happen. Lacey has to stop making mistakes.
All right, here you see Mary Beth Duffy on the camera right up on top of the press box. And I'll mention once again our crew working today. All right, let me mention the rest of our crew for today's game.
And you can also tell me if you live in Forked River, Lenoka, or Bamber, or wherever.
Sue Lynch, sophomore, Lenoka Harbor.
Thank you, Sue. Okay, girls, coming up here. Your name, what year you are in school, and what part of the district you live in, whether it's Forked River, Bamber, or Lenoka Harbor, or wherever in Lacey.
Colleen G. Cesare, sophomore, Forked River.
Thank you.
Erin Feltry, sophomore, Forked River.
Gina Sicardo, sophomore, Forked River. Faith Gren, sophomore, Forked River. Cindy Taylor, sophomore, Lenoka Harbor.
Stacy Salito, junior, Lenoka Harbor.
Laura Tingasky, Junior, Lenoka Harbor.
Okay, wait till you get up to me, girls.
Sandy Ferrara, Senior, Forked River. Holly Wynn, Senior, Lenoka Harbor. Antoinette Lomer, Senior, Forked River. Kathy Davis, Senior, Lenoka Harbor.
Okay, girls, want to come over here? These are the captains. Why don't you introduce yourselves and where you're from, what year in school?
Dawn Noren, Senior, Forked River.
Jean Marsh, Senior, Lenoka Harbor.
Marsh, that was a familiar name. I had a cheerleader at Central Regional years ago named Marsh. Mr. Kilmurray was a big star up there. Any relation?
No.
Same name, Jean Marsh. She was a captain of the Central Cheerleaders. They were undefeated when John was there. Okay, girls, what's been going on down here at LACEY this year? Is this a good school for school spirit? The people in town get behind the team and the kids?
Yeah, every week the parents have a breakfast for all the football players on the bottom of the church.
That's nice. And do you have many pep rallies down here during football season in the school with the students?
Well, we only had one this year. The first one before the first game, it was the big bonfire. We haven't had one since, but we do a lot of other stuff. Like each Friday, we sell these spirit badges, and they say different saying every week. And we hang up posters, and every Friday all the teams wear their school collars and stuff.
The girls are giving them a hard time over here. What about the big game this year we're going to do on Channel 8? Central Regional, new rivalry. Do you have a lot of friends right up here in Bayville in the Central Territory? Is that going to be a big pep rally for that one? That's going to be a big game.
Yeah, we might have a pep rally, and a lot of the college students are going to come down from Central and from LACEY to see the game because they're the ones who really went there. We're just the last class that went there, so they're going to be more there than we are.
Well, I grew up in Forked River, but I went to Central, so that's going to be a hard game for me to do. Girls, I thank you for coming on, and have a good game today.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Lakewood and Ocean County College and Toms River and your Monmouth Ocean Lincoln Mercury dealers. We actually had the wind blow the football up the tee as Mike Murphy was teeing it up. So a little bit of a breeze here, and we're ready to go. LACEY kicking off to Pinelands. LACEY leads at 7-0. And it's going to go to the far side. The return is made by number 27 of Pinelands, Matt Vega, and we're ready to go. We want to thank the Booster Club and people in the refreshment stand at LACEY for the hospitality here at halftime. They sent us up some hot dogs and orange drink. Very nice hospitality here at LACEY. We'll have to come here more often, Bob.
It's a first-class treatment.
Mike Redfield and the gang in the truck want to know where theirs is. It got gobbled up pretty quickly up here by the gang in the press box. We shared it with a PA announcer. We'll have to work on getting some for our crew in the truck. Bonneke has the reception.
Very interesting pass play that time as the quarterback rolled right and the two backs went left and there was no fake at all. I think they tried to set off that backdoor blitz with that, and he threw to the one receiver back into the short sideline.
The ball's at the 35-yard line. First and 10 for the Wildcats. Fullback, but no hole at all. 3 or 4 blue shirts right there at the line of scrimmage. And the charge was led by Torrey in there and also number 49, Dave Smith, getting a chance to see some defensive action today for the Lions.
Interior people for the Lions have been dominating that line of scrimmage on defense.
And LACEY plays Shore next week. And Bob, you said you saw the
Yes.
Shore Regional Scouts here today?
I saw the chief himself, Bob Rolak here, and he wanted to get a good look at these LACEY Lions.
Lawrence is knocked down, but he got the pass off to Bonneke. And covering on the play was Van Brunt.
Bonneke executed a beautiful comeback pattern that time. He went about 15 yards up the field, planted his legs, and came back on the ball. The ball was thrown perfectly to the spot. Perfect execution for the completion.
And that is a tough pass to throw, rolling to his left and throwing back across his body like that.
3rd and 1. And the option.
Big hole.
And there's a first down and more. Bobby Peshko on the carry.
Ken, the Lions were in a double blitz with their inside linebackers, and they had both people blitzing inside. The play went outside, and there was nobody left.
Here it is, just a little give inside. Pesco takes the ball. There he is, 17-yard run right up the middle.
So the Wildcats on the move as they start the second half. They've been hanging tough today against the favored LACEY Lions. Wow, nice tackle there. And
Bobby Malika.
Bobby Malika, the weak side end, really smashed Kumpel before he could get started.
Picture perfect tackle.
There you
Really
see
stuck.
Malika with his back to the camera, number 20.
Look at all the awards, the incentive awards on his helmet, Ken, for outstanding plays. You can
I
tell-
know his father pretty well. I run into him once in a while around town. And, you know, you guys are welcome down here in my territory, guys. I need to go up to Patton's territory when we go to North. So today, you're seeing a nice hospitality. These people treat me down here, Dick.
Is it true?
Nice hot dogs and orange drink.
Is it true there's a movement in town to change the name from Lacey to Turkville?
Lawrence to the near sideline, completion. And it's to 25, Kumple.
Lawrence showing a lot of poise, facing that pressure and stepping up in there and throwing that ball in a quick out pattern. He's looked very impressive. He's only a sophomore, isn't he, Dick?
Yes, he is.
He is
And
very
that's
impressive.
4 passes now. There it is again. He's going backwards when he threw that ball. And the receiver did a nice job. He came back to the football.
Showing very well coached receivers.
Bob Galise was telling me it's really nice to have Dick Lawrence as his athletic director because he's very enthusiastic about the football program. And when you can work well with an athletic director, it makes the coaching job a little easier, doesn't it, Bob?
It sure does. It eliminates a lot of administrative paperwork and problems.
Lawrence rolling out. Malika gets it from behind. And that caused the ball to be thrown short. Malika grabbed his arm.
Again, a weak side blitz being very effective for the Lions.
Now, I'm still saying we're getting that outside rush from the backside. Now here it comes. There comes Bob. Watch it. There's no one back here for the screen pass. If they throw that ball back, they're going to be in trouble.
Malika playing another strong game for Lacey. He was our player of the week last week.
This is an ideal spot, Ken, to fake the kick because the kick, if you do get it off and it goes in the end zone, Lacey gets it at the 20. If you can make something happen here, you get the ball in great field position.
Bonnicky
5 backs.
looking to punt. Rushes on, and I think they got a piece of that, didn't they?
He came close, Ken, but I think the rush just made the kicker hurry it, and as a result, the ball barely got back to where the first down marker was.
Mike Eden and Derek Torrey both came charging through there, even though they had, you mentioned it, Dick, those backs were back there looking for the return. They still got a good rush.
And also, I think there were 5 backs in the backfield blocking, counting the punter.
That's one of the reasons why I don't like to punt if I'm past the opponent's 40. If I'm inside his 40, you have very little to gain and everything to lose. You should go for it.
Lacey from the 33-yard line, straight ahead, and they get about 5 on the first play. The stop is made by Bob Peshko, linebacker from the left side. So it's going to bring up second and a long 5 for the Lacey Lions.
In that particular instance, Ken, the Wildcats were in almost a 9-man front.
Subsea split to the near side. They bunch those linebackers up close. And Spatz spins off one tackle. Making the initial hit was
That was John Taylor.
Taylor, the left end. And Spatz made a good effort to avoid the loss.
He sure did. He was hitting the backfield. You'll see it coming up here. You see Spatz behind power block and get hit right away because of great penetration by Pinelands, but breaks that tackle and still gains a yard, even though he should have lost 2.
This is a big third down play for Lacey right here. They want to hold possession of the football. Fake. They gave it to Malika. And he can't go. Can't get around that far side. Boneski and Lester Peshko both there on the spot. And Malika was unable to turn it upfield. 3 deep backs for Pinelands.
We got a penalty flag down.
Andy Herbert signaled for a fair catch.
But we got flag down, Ken, back here. It may be delay of game against Lacey. Or 5 men in the backfield.
Flag's back to the 35-yard line. There you see the official threw the flag. You know, it's getting really, what is that, haze or what is that?
I think what's happening, the wind is switched and it's coming off the ocean.
Little,
it's blowing in a little mist
yeah,
off
a little
the
mist.
ocean. It's damp. It's really changed the complexion of the weather.
It was very warm when we got here this morning, but it's kind of chilly right now.
The temperature's dropping rapidly.
Richard's
too.
going to get his coat.
We have a legal computer company
Illegal procedure was the call. So Pinelands turns it down, and they'll take over the football. That ball just short of the 30-yard line. Tailback is stacked up by Derek Torrey, a loose football. I believe Pinelands has it.
Yeah, Lawrence got right on top of it.
Derek Torrey was there to make the stop in the backfield.
Great hit by Torrey. Coach Lou Brasillo said that he's been impressive all year long from that linebacker spot.
We got a lot of brother acts today. We got the Peshko brothers for Pinelands. We got the Torrey brothers and the Supsey brothers for LACEY. See any other brother combinations here on our board?
We have the Anthony brothers. Pat and
Fakes
Matt.
the fullback and incomplete. You just mentioned Anthony, and that's who he tried to go to. Pat Anthony, the 6'2", 285-pound senior tight end. He's hurt.
Yes, he was hit by Mike Murphy. Really put a tackle on him.
Threw it behind him a little bit.
Number 41. See Murphy make that hit?
No, he's a good kicker, but he really unloaded that time.
Our crew has been very fortunate. We've had all this warm weather this year because they're the guys that, you know, when we go to some of these enclosed press boxes where they get to work out in that cold weather. So I think our crew's hoping this weather is going to continue to Thanksgiving Day.
It's usually when we get those night games that the old hawk gets out there and gets after the crew.
Third down and long for the Wildcats. And it's the fullback. I'll tell you, I'm very impressed by the faking of Lawrence. I've been fooled a couple of times today.
That looked like that was Lester Pesco, the brother of Bob, the freshman. He's only a freshman.
And he's going to be a good one for the Wildcats. 7-yard gain, so it's 4th and about 8.
And Bonicki's back to punt.
Deemer and Murphy drop back. Deemer deep at the 37-yard line waiting for this punt. 6 minutes to play in the period. And it's going to be to the near side. Nobody's going to get that one. It's going to go out of bounds around a 35-yard line. They'll mark it around a 36. So LACEY's going to have excellent field position again. They lead 7-0. I think you got to think that the Wildcats have made a really big effort here today. They were underdogs coming in, and they're giving LACEY all they can handle.
They play good football, Ken. This LACEY football team was up for this game. It's Parents' Day, and Coach Lou Brasillo was saying that all week long. They emphasized that this was the game they had to win to set up the showdown with Shore Regional next week.
Luciano avoids the rush, and he throws it incomplete. And I don't see a receiver anywhere near where he threw the ball. What happened?
I think he was just throwing it away that time, Ken.
What happened? He rolled to the left, and the whole backfield, defensive backfield, rotated to the right, which was right in his path. He had two receivers back to the backside, but he didn't see him because he was rolling away from them.
It was wise to throw that ball and ground it like that rather than take the loss and put yourself in a hole knowing it was only a first down call.
Here comes Van Brunt, the man who scored the only touchdown in this ball game. At that time, he's stopped at the line of scrimmage.
That was
Mickey Matta.
Mickey Matta.
I haven't mentioned him today. He's the nose guard, and he's also the center. Mickey Matta goes 5'9", 190. He's a junior.
Yeah, Mickey Matta, Darren Angle, and John Taylor, three fine linemen that the Pinelands have.
Getting dark here with a miss coming in. Luciano straight back screen to the far side. Sturman, and incomplete. Sturman was distracted there as number 17 came in there to break it up, and that's the tight end and the defensive right end, Pat Anthony. And he had to reach for that ball, and he knew that Anthony was going to hit him.
All right, here's the replay. You can see him drop back. The screen sets up to the left side, and it's in and out of the hands of the receiver. Had he caught it, it wouldn't have gone anywhere anyhow. Pinelands had excellent coverage.
The ball almost bounced into the hands of John Kumpel.
We were talking about that before in a sense, Dick, that we had said that as a coach, you always fear those things that you can't control.
Now, there was another case, Bob. Lacey didn't have enough men on the field. The boy came in late, and they had to call and take a timeout here. So now Lacey has just wasted a timeout. This is not the Lacey football team that we saw last week.
We had to take a timeout with 5:12 to go in the period, and it's Lacey 7, Pinelands nothing. We'll be back. Andy Herbert is deep back. Herbert, no, it's going to be, yes, it is Herbert. I couldn't tell who had the ball. Two guys standing side by side there, but it went to number 25, John Couple.
Chris Leray down on the coverage to make the tackle there.
Dick?
It looks like Alan Ziesendorf is warming up on the sidelines for the Lacey Lions. He may be going in on the next series.
That's Zielsdorf, isn't it? Was it
Zielsdorf.
Zielsdorf. You ought to know.
Yeah, Storf.
Zielsdorf. Okay, we got the correction right from the horse's mouth. His father's right in front of us. All right, this is Anthony. And Luciano made the stop. There you see the mist and the fog, and you can see the breeze on that flag there on the scoreboard. Give you an idea of how the weather's changed here.
Yeah, the wind has gone from northwest to northeast. Now, instead of coming over land, it's coming in over the water, and it's a damp chill.
Second and call it 3. And the fullback looking for that first down. I don't know if he got it, guys.
I think he's going to be a little bit short. What I'm impressed with is how well Pinelands has moved the ball through the air. They've thrown the ball very effectively.
Bob Peshko came up a little short, so it's going to be 3rd and a short 2. So here's a big play for the Wildcats right here. They'd like to get a drive going. Lawrence on the keeper. He's got a first down, and he may get a lot more. And he crosses over the midfield stripe into Lacey territory. Nice play by the young quarterback.
What happened that time, Ken, was Malika from Lacey crashed hard down there. It's 20C. He tackles the dive man. Lawrence kept the ball. There was nobody out there because he is the backside strong end or whatever you want to cornerback on that side.
He's got that outside contained position, and he's supposed to read the deepest man coming to his side, but he was sucked in on a fake that time, and just a great job by Lawrence handling the football. Very impressive.
Straight ahead, maybe a yard or two. Lawrence's father was a quarterback at Phillipsburg High School on a real strong team. The State Liners have always had great teams. And his father went to Rutgers. At the time, they played the single wing under John Stigman, and he played blocking back in the single wing backfield. The quarterback would actually be the blocking back.
Right.
And then when they went to the T formation under John Bateman in the early 60s, he played two-way end. In those days, you didn't have platoons. And Rutgers went undefeated when his father, Dick Lawrence, was a senior at Rutgers. One of the only 2 undefeated teams at Rutgers history. They have 2 teams that went undefeated, and it was the 61 team that Dick Lawrence, his father, played on that Rutgers squad at 2-way end. So he's from a good football family, and as I mentioned, I played with would have been his uncle, Bruce Lawrence. Dick's younger brother at Phillipsburg was a great athlete.
Okay, Ken, we have a situation here now where it's 3rd down and 8 for the Wildcats. And I'm sure that Todd is going to put the ball in the air.
Straight back. Now he comes to the near side and incomplete. It looked like he was going to Herbert, and that was covered by Van Brunt.
It's going to bring up a punting situation.
He scrambles very well.
He does a lot of things very well. I'm impressed at the fact he's only a sophomore. He's going to have good size. He's got a good arm. He's got excellent ball handling abilities. I think he's going to help make Pinelands a much improved team in the future.
The past 2 punts by Bonnicky have not been very good, so he's probably hoping that he can finally get one off.
All right, it's going to I don't think anybody will touch that one. And it'll be down by the Wildcats. Covering was number 60, Vince DeFrancia, who does the snapping for Pinelands. So he got down there pretty quick after snapping that ball. So LACEY goes on offense.
Going to take the ball from their own 17-yard line.
2 minutes and 10 seconds left, third quarter, 7-0 LACEY. Okay, can any of you guys tell me some teammates of Dick Lawrence on that undefeated 61 Rutgers team?
Ken, in 61, I was being pushed around in a baby carriage. I don't know about you.
I will say that Dick Garrettson, who is a principal over at Wall Township High School, played just prior to that. He was
a blocking back.
And he was on the team that went undefeated until the last game of the season. I think Columbia beat them.
Was the All-American center with them that year, Ken?
Alex Kroll.
Yeah.
The carry is by Sturman. Alex Kroll was an All-American center for Rutgers that year. They had a guy named Sam Muty, who was a pretty good quarterback. Dick Speranza, who coached many years at Rutgers, was a quarterback too on that team.
Speranza's still up there, isn't he?
No, he recently got out of coaching. I talked to Dick Lawrence, and he told me he's not coaching anymore.
I know in the next few years there'll be a book out, Trivia by Ken Turp. It's got to come out sometime.
Well, I'll tell you why. I can remember. Time out here, officials time out. I saw that Rutgers team in the last game of the year when they were going for the undefeated season. Columbia had a lead going into the final quarter of 19-7. Rutgers came back and won it.
Wow, what a finish.
And you know who was at the game that I met that time, scouting? Jim Lee Howe, who was a coach of the New York Giants. Jim Lee Howe had great teams with the Giants.
He had some great
they were winners then.
Had some great assistant coaches, too.
And I got a chance to talk to him at halftime.
Like Landry and Lombardi, who were his assistants.
Malika is dumped, and that was a good play there by Anthony. He's played a good game, this kid Anthony.
Yes, he has.
Good two-way performer for the Wildcats. We're down to a minute in the period. And I'll tell you, we may have a cold night today. We've been used to this warm weather at night.
Dick put his coat on. I got my sport jacket and put it on. And Ken's got his arms wrapped together as he starts to shiver.
I'm the only guy without a coat here in the press box.
These guys from Phillipsburg are supposed to be tough. They can go, T-shirts, what have you.
Those mountain men right there.
All right, slot to the near side. Looks like Malika was limping a little when he came up to the slot formation. Now he goes in motion. And they go straight ahead with the fullback. Across the 25.
It's not enough. They're going to have to punt the ball. And LACEY so far in this second half, 1-2-3 kick, 1-2-3 kick, and 1-2-3 kick.
That was Spats on the carry.
Bob, do you think there's something to the fact that they got a 7-0 lead? They may just be trying to hold on and not show too much for sure.
I wouldn't want to do that.
Pinelands
could score a
touchdown.
That's what
I'm saying. I said I hope that's not the case.
Herbert. And Herbert takes out at the 42, and he gets across the 45 to about the 47-yard line. Andy Herbert
coming very close to busting some big plays. They look like they're going to bust it, and just all of a sudden it stops. You can't sit on 7-0. You've got to have at least 2 or 3 because high school football turns around too fast. I think what may be happening is the kids may be looking ahead at Shore Regional and not concentrating on this game today.
And Pinelands loves to play LACEY. This is a big game for them. And Todd Lawrence is capable of throwing the ball, and Bonicki's capable of catching it, as well as Anthony. This game's not out of reach. I just hope they're not sitting on it.
Guys, we got to take a break. You got to give me a chance to get a word in here. It's break. I should have, and we missed the turnover here. We'll explain what happened. LACEY has the football as we start the final period of play. Luciano throwing to the far side. Subsey, and Subsey's inside the 10-yard line. Bob, explain what happened on the turnover.
All right. Pinelands took the ball. They tried to run with it. It was a brilliant hit. Mike Eden picked up the fumble.
We'll see it.
And went 20 yards.
This is the last play.
Here's the last play. And we have the brilliant pass by Luciano at the Subsey, which puts the Lions down dangerously close on about the 8-yard line.
And it looked like Mike Eden had a chance to almost go all the way when he got that loose football, but it sets up this chance right here for LACEY to add on to their lead. Spats can't go anywhere there. 72, Benny Sanzari, the right tackle's a big one, 6 foot 230, a senior, and he made the stop. So LACEY now has a second down and goal. Subsea split to the far side. Malika, the wing back to the left side. Luciano throws the end zone. Intercepted in the end zone by Todd Lawrence.
Yes,
What a play he made. He jumped up, took it with one hand, and then wrapped it in. And it stops another drive.
That's 2 interceptions for Todd, right?
2 interceptions and the third one that Luciano threw.
All right, here's the replay.
There might be a penalty on the play, though. Here's the replay. Luciano rolling to his left throw. Watch this catch.
All right, it's going to be penalty. Let's see. They're going to Wildcats still have it, right?
Yeah.
And Mike Spatz is down, number 47 of the Lions, who got injured on the play.
And that's the 5th turnover for LACEY Lions. 3 on passes and 2 on fumbles.
All right, so the Wildcats first down at the 20-yard line. Big play by Todd Lawrence.
Way down there, way down on the end zone.
Yeah, we have a LACEY Lion injured in the corner of the end zone down there, out of bounds. Number 47, Mike Spatz, getting up. It looks like he's got some rib injury. We hope that Mike's not hurt too badly. He's very valuable to this Lion football team.
Tailback and couple to the 25-yard line. Berardo there to stop him. We mentioned Lacey has Shore Regional coming up next week. How about Pinelands? I believe they got Modern Day at home next Saturday afternoon. Lawrence.
Here he goes.
Lawrence got some room. And he's chased out of bounds at the 35 by Luciano.
Same thing happened, Ken. The end is crashing down and making the tackle. He's taking the ball, sticking it in his stomach, pulling it back out and going outside. There's no one there.
You know, the LACEY Lions are flirting here with very dangerous situation. They've been down there so many times and have been able to put in the killing blow, but they haven't been able to strike it. And Pinelands, if they pop one in here, they could surprise LACEY. LACEY's just been flirting with too much danger. 5 turnovers. They should be up by at least 4 touchdowns in this ball game, and they haven't been able to put the ball in the end zone.
Officials timeout. Now we're ready to go. Fullback gets the call, and stopping him was Rocco Sinatra. After about a yard gain on a play, the carry is made by Bob Peshko.
You know, Bob, you said they should be up by 4 touchdowns, but I think we have to give credit to the Pinelands football team. They have done an excellent job of taking advantage of the mistakes. Lawrence has made 2 beautiful interceptions. They have played very well.
The name of the game has been a big play on defense for Pinelands. They've big played, LACEY.
Lawrence to throw down the near sideline. And beautiful catch. Was he inbounds? No, he dropped it after he went out.
The ball when he hit, that's right.
I thought he had the ball, but he didn't drop it till he hit the ground.
Matt Vega made a nice effort. There you see Vega.
Again, excellent pass by Lawrence as he stepped back and laid that ball out ahead of his receiver and let him run under it.
So we have
Here's the
replay of
replay
this
now.
one.
Watch Lawrence roll now. He just throws it up. He's trying to run under it. We couldn't really see right there whether he called it or not, but what a play that was.
3rd down and 9. Flag on a play. Lawrence tackled behind the line.
That's going to be a backfield in motion as the fullback started for the line of scrimmage before the snap of the ball. But the Lions will probably deny it since there was a loss on the play anyhow.
Malika made the tackle. So it's going to be 4th down for the Wildcats. They'll have to give it up. And it's still anybody's ball game here. 7-0 LACEY lead and 8:48 to go. There you see Deemer ready to return this punt. Bonneke, no rush, gets a nice high sailing punt. The Deemer at the 30-yard line, 35, 40 to the near sideline, and finally dragged down after crossing the 45-yard line. The stop was made by number 37 of Pinelands.
That's Lester Pesco.
Yep, that's Bob's brother Lester.
The freshman, Ken. He's only a freshman.
And Demo had a little fire under the Lions before with an excellent return, and now picks up a 23-yard punt return here.
Scott Schubiger leads the offensive line of Chris Supsey, Ed Carivo, Steve Torrey, Mike Berardo, tight end Mike Murphy as they get up over the ball. Starman, and he can't really go anywhere.
What's happening here is each time the Lions...
That was Lester Pesco again.
Each time the Lions don't score, Pinelands gains confidence. And they're playing better and better football as the game goes on.
Does Dick have any relatives down in Tuckerton named Peshko? He's the Lester Peshko fan club president here. He likes
Well,
it.
I'm just saying it's unusual for a freshman to be playing varsity ball and doing as well as he's doing.
But he's a big freshman, 5'10", 170. He's got good size. They go to Van Brunt. I'll tell you, Pinelands is really playing a gritty defensive football game here. They've had their backs up against the wall. They come up with a big play.
Lacey tried to run that counter twice in a row. Hasn't been able to do anything with it.
We got Bobby Knapp in that secondary now playing right halfback for Pinelands, 5'9", 160-pound junior. So they got Todd Lawrence out now for a rest. Luciano's going to go to the air. He completes it to Supsey, first down. Supsey still going across the 30 to about the 28-yard line. Finally tackled by Adam Boneski, the safety. So Lacey picks up a first down, and they're moving now into Pinelands territory.
24-yard reception by Supsey.
Watch this isolation play on Supsey.
Isolated replay. Look at Supsey get banged on the defensive back, breaks it to the outside, catches the ball, breaks a tackle, showing great balance there with the one hand. Takes two defenders to bring him down, a 24-yard gain.
And this time they go to Van Brunt. And Van Brunt has the ball at the 15-yard line. So another first down for Lacey. Now it looks like the Lacey Lions are determined to add another touchdown on the board here. Let's see what Pinelands can do defensively. Last time they had the interception by Lawrence in the end zone.
And Todd Lawrence is back in the ball game at halfback.
We have to break. We'll be right back. By Knapp, who switched over to the left side. He'd been in for Lawrence on the right side. He moved over. They brought Lawrence back in there, and Knapp batted the ball away.
Well, Luciano was hit just as he threw the football.
And Supsey that time too was hit at the time the ball got there. The ball was just about a foot or two behind Supsey to make it easy for him to grab.
5:54 left to play. Lacey leading 7-0.
Big thing here is if Lacey doesn't turn it over, they have an excellent field goal kicker in Murphy, and that field goal would give them some insurance.
Luciano going to the far corner, and Supsey tried to run a little too soon off his fingertip.
What happened is Supsey was open, but he had run out of room, and he wanted to make sure he didn't go out of bounds, so he took his eyes off the ball and looked down, and as a result, he just dropped the ball. He was so worried about going out of bounds in that corner.
Yeah, I think if he had just caught the ball and kept his feet in, but he tried to catch it, keep his feet in bounds, and run.
Yeah,
there it is. Watch this now.
Look at him.
See, he's trying to stay in bounds and catch it and run, too.
He was turning towards the goal line as the ball got there. He wanted to get into that end zone.
Good pass by Luciano that time. Put it right where he wanted it. No chance of it getting intercepted there.
All right, third down. 10 to go. Here's the reverse. The Malika, he's got a blocker. Malika turns a corner. Touchdown. Beautiful block by the quarterback, Pete Luciano. Malika takes it in. 15-yard run by Bob Malika. And that could wrap it up for the Lions. 5:43 left to play. Watch it again. Watch Luciano block.
All right, you can see Luciano leading Malika around the end. There's the block, which allows Malika to beat the cornerback and sprint 15 yards untouched.
Luciano took out Todd Lawrence, the quarterback, the defensive halfback. So one quarterback blocking the other quarterback, and that sprung Malika for the touchdown. Here's Murphy. with the extra point kick. And it's good. And the Lions lead 14-0.
Both times, both Lacey touchdowns have come after excellent returns on a punt by Richie Deemer.
So the reverse pays off for the Lions. 15-yard run gives them another touchdown. Now the Wildcats really have their work cut out for them. They only have 5:43 to score 2 touchdowns.
How things do change in a hurry, don't they? As the Lacey fans are going crazy here now that they got their score, the little footballs are being thrown up into the stands.
Richie Deemer kicking off. Bonneke and Vega deep for the Wildcats. And what happened there, Dick?
The ball fell off the tee just as he went to kick it.
He went to kick it, and I looked back. I started to pick up to see which which return man it was going to go to, and I looked back, and the ball was never in the air. That's going to be embarrassing. All right, we'll try it again. This time, it's going to come to the near side. And here comes Vega.
Good catch
Vega
by
gets a
Vega.
hole, and then he's knocked out of bounds to the 40-yard line. And making the stop was Van Brunt.
There was a line drive kick that Vega took on a fly, and he just burst up there quick past the first wave of Lacey defenders. You can see the ball comes down like a bullet, and Vega takes it on a run, heads right up the stripe, gets one good block, and turns it to an excellent return, bringing the ball back about 22 yards.
1st and 10 at the 41. Now they shift the tight end to the left side. Fumble.
Lacey.
And I gotta think Lacey's on that one. That was a fumble by John Kumpel. Lacey has the football. That may be the final nail in the coffin. The number 76, Steve Torrey, 5'10", 230-pound junior right tackle, recovered the ball. There you see the Lacey band.
I think if I was Coach Galise right now, I would take a timeout and settle my team down a little bit.
Sturman, boy, he had to fight for that one. He must have got hit by about 5 or 6 white shirts, and he might have got a half a yard.
And that's one of the toughest half yards I've ever seen any kid in high school ever get.
Good strong effort by Sturman. Jeff's brother was a big star at Central Regional, Chuck Sturman, and Chuck was on those great teams of Musselman and Hall for John Gardy up in Central. Good defensive end. Luciano going for another touchdown. Sepsi all alone at the 10-5 touchdown. Dave Sepsi beat the defender, and that's a 40-yard,
Well, 39 yards.
39-yard scoring play. Luciano to Sepsi, the Lions have erupted. Let's watch it again.
You can see the fake to Malika holds him, and Sepsi's wide open, way behind the defensive back, and goes in standing up for a TD.
So we got the explosion here in the last quarter. Lacey 20, Pinelands nothing. Murphy 2 for 2 so far. He's 3 for 3, 21-0.
Murphy continues to add to his leading statistics as the Ocean County's #1 kicker.
I can just about hear you, Bob, with that Lacey band playing right in front of us. We got the open windows here in the press box.
You know, they're a happy group right now.
By the time we get home, we'll be ready for an Excedrin commercial.
There you see the Lacey Lion band.
So suddenly here, in a period of about 1 minute and 10 seconds, Lacey has scored 2 touchdowns.
All right. Now, this time Murphy's going to do the kicking off.
Okay, well, we got a minute here. Did we pick up the Lacey player who recovered that fumble that set the turnover?
Yeah, I told you it was Steve Torrey.
Steve Torrey. Part of one of those brother acts you were talking earlier about.
Right. Right tackle, Steve Torrey. Here we go. 4:31 left to play. Bonneke fumbles it and falls on it. So Bonneke never had a chance. He was open. I mean, he had some room to run, but he just couldn't handle the ball. He falls on the 20.
While Pinelands managed to elude the turnovers for most of the game, all of a sudden here in the fourth quarter, the roof is falling and they just can't seem to find a handle on the ball.
Well, Lawrence is going to have to go to the air now and try to move a long distance in a short amount of time.
Lions going into prevent defense.
Lawrence gets the time, and Sturman made a good hit there. Sinatra was there too, and they really jarred number 17, the tight end, Pat Anthony.
Lions that time showed their regular defense, and just before the snap of the ball started to drop off their linebackers into the pass coverage.
Luciano's now playing safety.
Now he's coming out.
Well, he was playing safety. He's quick.
I think Vasillo's wise to get him out of there now. The game is pretty safe, and you don't want to risk injuring your quarterback on defense, where you can get another young kid in there and get him some experience.
All right, Lawrence again setting up the throw. And that one went right through the hands of John Kumpel. He was open, too.
And so much of high school football is momentum. While the game was close, Pinelands was making those plays. Now, all of a sudden, that second score, and all of a sudden, the ball's just being dropped.
Everything's going wrong now for the Wildcats, and it's a shame because they played a great 3 quarters of football here in the fourth quarter. They get themselves into some trouble.
We sure did play a good 3 quarters.
We have a timeout charged to Pinelands with 3:59 to go, 21-0 Lacey. Now we got to think about player of the game, guys, to start thinking about that.
I got a couple of suggestions.
Let me once again tell you that High School Football Channel 8 is brought your way by the Monmouth and Ocean County Lincoln Mercury dealers, and also by Ocean County College, which has a beautiful campus in Toms River off Hooper Avenue. It's your community college in Toms River. By Pine Belt Chevrolet, which has the largest selection of Chevrolets for 1985 at the Jersey Shore. Are you thinking, Dick?
Well, we had Subsea with a couple of big receptions and looked pretty good. And, you know, Murphy's had a good game. He's kicked the ball well.
Gerardo had a good game on a defensive line.
Van Brunt on the first touchdown, and some nice defensive plays.
Luciano's looked good.
Luciano's looked good, and Mulliker again. Luciano, what, is thrown for a TD, is set up another one in the air.
Blocked for Malik on a touchdown run.
And Malik has played well on defense. He's sacked the quarterback a couple of times.
Plus has a reverse for a touchdown. So we had a lot of good performances by these well-balanced Lacey Lions.
All right, Lawrence again wants to throw, but he's being rushed. He's got a scamper to his right. He's got some room now. Throws on the run, overthrown. Bonneke, the intended receiver there, covered on the play by number 37, Brian Terry. Murphy was there. Watch the isolated camera.
All right, here goes Todd rolling to his right. Now he's no place to go, so now he's going to come back the other way. He picks up a few blockers, and he throws the ball into the middle, and it's knocked down by 2 Lacey defenders.
And one other guy we forgot to mention was Rich Deemer, who had a 38-yard punt return to set up 1 touchdown and a 23-yard punt return to light a fire under the Lions for the other one.
All right, Chip Peterson sending in the play. for the defensive unit there, what they want him to do there. He was talking to one of the defensive linemen he just sent in the ball game, Ed Carrivo, giving him some instructions. He's playing defensive end. And kind of a strange day with the sun back out again.
It's almost like
mist.
Playing in London, isn't it, Ken? Like London fog.
There's a shot of Mike Eden, the nose tackle, and he's limping a little bit there as he comes off. See the pain he's in.
But he's not going to let any of those young kids carry him off the field. Mike's too proud for that. Look at him shaking his head. Nah, I'm all right, coach. Put me back in there.
Bonneke steps back to the 6-yard line and waiting for the snap, the punt. And takes a Pinelands bounce and a nice roll. So that's back at the 37.
I think they're smart there to let that ball roll. They don't need to take a chance on handling it. As the ball rolls, the clock keeps on ticking, so let it roll. Oh, we still have to make up our minds, guys.
Van Brunt, nice run. It's finally stopped by John Kumpel, the strong safety. First down Lions. Watch Van Brunt.
All right, you can see him hit up in here very quickly, break one tackle, pull off a second one, and plow for extra yards. When that running back lunges forward for those extra yards, that's known as finishing off the run. And all good backs do that.
I'm asking Dick. We still haven't heard from Dick Patton yet on a player of the game. And
well, you're mentioning Luciano possibly. He threw 3 interceptions. I'm really having a tough time.
Well, Supsey didn't throw any interceptions and had a couple of big receptions.
Malika's been going both ways again. I know he was our player last week. Ken, I'm having a tough time. There's about 4 players there that are all played very well.
Van Brunt's had some good runs today. Sturman on the pitch. And Todd Lawrence was very quick to come up. Made the stop for a loss on a play. So it'll bring up 3rd down and 11 for the Lions. 1:55 left in the football game. 21-0 Lacey over Pinelands.
I'd run this one, Ken, and then take a delay of game before I punt it. Leave him with almost no time.
Luciano throwing. Supsey couldn't quite get there. A little too far in front of him. And Matt Bingham was right there covering.
The fog just rolling in. Fog is now
all around the fence there.
Just rolling in over the fence
The
now.
fog is really coming in now, folks.
We're not going to be able to find our player today.
Really hanging low across the fence there. This has been a weird day. Van Brunt punts, and it's out of bounds. Supsey was covering.
He was pressurized there by, not pressurized, he was pressured by John Taylor.
Pressurized?
Oh, hey, I'm great with words, boy.
Pressurized cabin or something?
Can you imagine? I have an English minor.
Fog. You can see that fog so very low, hanging over the bleachers and the fence behind the bleachers.
Seems almost like it's out to get us.
Getting near Halloween time, the fog's creeping in. Intercepted by Mark, and he could go. And the stop is made by Sanzari.
Malik on a brilliant interception here. But you always tell those kids, head for the near sideline and turn it on. You can see Malik can pick it off. He's got room to the sideline, but he cuts back trying to pick up blockers. You don't look for blockers. You get to the sideline and sprint for the end zone.
You're right. There was no one to his outside. No one.
Yeah, he could have had a touchdown if he'd gone to the right. Open field. Final 1 minute of play. And there goes Brian Terry. And Brian Terry has a big gain. And he goes all the way down to the 10-yard line.
And a nice block was thrown by Bob Malika there.
Replay, and you can see Brian Terry slicing through there, breaking tackles.
Whoa, super defensive play there. Beautiful tackle. So Anthony came up so quick. And
That's going to do it.
Play.
Well, we need that MVP, guys, quick.
That's the end of the ball game. Lacey wins it 21-0. Bob, recap the scoring in the ball game.
I'll run it through for you really fast. The first score came in the second quarter after Rich Deemer returned a punt 38 yards to the 23-yard line of Pinelands. There, Dave Van Brunt exploded for a 23-yard touchdown at 7:53 in the second quarter, making the score 6-0. Murphy kicks the extra point for 7-0. Then it was pretty quiet going on into the third quarter, actually the fourth quarter. And here, after a fumble recovery by Steve Torrey, the Lacey Lions completed a 39-yard pass to Supsey for the touchdown, making it 20-0. Murphy kicked, making it 21-0. I jumped one, Ken. The other score came in the third quarter. And this was a 15-yard reverse to Malika at 5:43 in the second quarter. That was 13-0. Murphy bidding three extra points.
Let's watch the last Lacey touchdown on the replay.
There it is. There's the pass. Beautiful to Supsey for the TD. That's the one I missed. Beautiful camera work there.
All right, let's mention that the game was brought your way by the Ocean and Monmouth Lincoln Mercury dealers in Manahawkin Causeway, Lincoln Mercury, Route 72 East. And in Bricktown, the local dealer is Weiss Leader, Lincoln and Mercury. And they're on Burnt Tavern Road in Bricktown. I believe this is the alma mater being played by the Lacey band. There you see the cheerleaders.
And a real strong effort to promote that here as they're teaching the audience the words, the band playing it at halftime, and now
all the
again
players
at the end of the game.
Standing at attention.
Lacey very eager to build tradition in this new school. They're off to a great start doing it.
And a game also brought your way by Ocean County College, Hooper Avenue and Tom's River, your community college, and by Pinebelt Chevrolet, Route 88 in Lakewood. We'll be back. We're going to make the final decision here on the player of the game. We'll have them on a post-game show in just a moment.
Here on a post-game show, we have the plaque here. I remembered it today. Last night up at Tom's River South, I left it home, and I should have had it in my car, but here it is, and it's going to go to Dave Van Brunt, who plays both ways for the Lions, and he had that first touchdown today to get them moving there, and they got the 7-0 lead in the first half. And, of course, they held on. That was actually the decisive touchdown, but the Lions exploded in the final period. So, Dave, congratulations on being player of the game. We had a hard time. We had so many guys that had big plays. Malik had another strong game today. And we talked about Supsey with a couple of big pass catches. Berardo keyed that defensive line. And Eden had that recovery of the loose football and took it in to set things up for the Lions. So I guess you guys had a little anxious moments there. It looked like the Wildcats were hanging tough there until the fourth quarter.
Yeah, they really surprised us. You know, we like to hit, and they really hit good. They stuck with us the whole game. They really played good.
I'm going to ask you if there was any problem keeping your mind on Pinelands this week and not thinking about the big showdown next week with Shore Regional because they were here scouting you today.
Yeah, our coaches have been telling us to concentrate on the Pinelands game, and we've been thinking about the short game because we really want Class C, and we're going to be up for it.
Okay, now, Richard, I know you got some questions, the old coach of the Mariners. What would you like to talk to Mr. Van Brunt about?
All right, Dave, the touchdown run that you made, is that the same play that you scored on at Manchester? Do you recall?
I didn't score.
You didn't score at Manchester? Somebody ran this.
Not like you had 3 touchdowns.
It was Malika ran. It's like a little inside reverse, or it's a counter. What kind of a play is that?
This one was just a, it was supposed to be an inside power, but I broke it outside because there was nothing inside.
Maybe that's what happened. It looked like you were running a slant and you just broke outside. One other question. Do you consider yourself the fastest man, fastest back, or is there someone in the backfield faster than you?
On our team?
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm about the quickest.
Do you have any idea what your time is in a 40?
No, during the summer I ran it like 4.6, 4.7.
You play any other sports here at Lacey? Run track?
Track.
What events?
High jump, long jump, and pole vault.
Okay. Now, next week, of course, Shore Regional, and you get them at home this year.
Yeah.
All right. It's some pretty good school spirit here. Does that help you guys?
Yeah, a great deal. Our fans have turned out so much better than any other schools we've been to. They even come to our away games. It's just such a boost.
Okay. I'm going to say congratulations. Bob, get in here quickly. We're going to wrap up and let you get your shower. Congratulations on the player of the game. Tell the guys they're best, okay? All right. Dave Van Brunt. Bob?
Well, Lou, this is probably one of the toughest decisions we ever had to make about an outstanding player because it was a very balanced job by your ball club. How did you see it as a coach?
Well, we have 3 kids rotating in that particular position, and David's been doing an outstanding job throughout the midseason and as of late, and he proved it today. He did an outstanding job.
Some trouble with the turnovers in the first half, but you seem to have settled down, and Rich Deemer turned things around with 2 good punt returns, light a fire under your ball club.
Yeah, he sure did. The turnovers, we have to look at the films and see exactly what did happen. There are things that are very, very frustrating to a coach and to a football team. We didn't anticipate them. We thought we had them dominated in the early part of the game, but you can't dominate a team with turnovers like that.
Well, this was a good victory for you in that it keeps you alive and sets up the showdown for the division next week against Shore Regional. How about that game? What do we have to do?
We have to do plenty, Coach. Shore Regional is a very powerful football team. We think that we're there. We think that we can compete with them very easily, but we have to do a heck of a lot better job than today.
Well, we know it's gotten quite raw, and we know your club's inside, and you want to get in there for the celebration. Thanks for being over here, Lou, and good luck on a great victory, and good luck next week.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Lou, we'll see you Thanksgiving Day.
Thank
for the Golden Eagles. Okay, thanks, Coach. All right, Lou Versillo, and we thank all the nice people here at Lacey. They've been very nice to us down here, and especially want to thank that nice booster club over at the refreshment stand for sending the refreshments up at halftime. And it's nice to work down here at Lacey. Okay, gentlemen, I thank you for working with us. And Dick, have a nice ride back to Tom's River. I don't have to go far today.
No, I don't. And I really like to thank the people here. They've been very nice.